Hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? So, to start this off, I would like to say shout out to Pops. He has gotten a microphone for us to use. So, hopefully we sound a little better now. Hopefully it doesn't sound as trash. I mean, obviously, I'm still getting used to this whole microphone type stuff. So, it's going to take me a second to get it, but let's try a sound effect out. Say no more. All right, boys. So today's video, we will be ranking every Juice World album from my personal favorite to my least favorite. All right. Now, to begin us out right here, I am going to use, I'm going to use this one because I mean it's not technically updated, I guess, but I'm going to use this one as "The Party Never Ends." And we might as well just go from bottom to top. So, you know, with that being said, there's only one place to put "The Party Never Ends," and in my eyes, that is his worst album. Now, I'm not basically using all of these, as the basis. I mean, I'm probably never gonna listen to this one again. I wouldn't say never listen to it. I mean, there's a couple solid songs on the album that could definitely be worth checking out. But you know, for specific purposes of this, like, it's definitely his worst album. I mean, it doesn't feel like it feels more of like a collection of songs rather than just an overall, mindset all there on one album. And so with that being said, that's the reason why it's, bottom tier for me. My second least favorite Juice World album, it has to be this. It has to be this. I mean, and for the simple reason of, it was not a bad album. Fighting My Demons, just it's not a bad album, but in comparison to all of his, pre-Communist albums, it doesn't compare even to Legends Never Die. I mean, that I felt like was by far his best post-Communist album. But we're focused on this one right now, so I'll just go over some highlights from it in my eyes, such as the song "Burn." That's a classic from the album. It doesn't. It genuinely, I don't think gets better than that from the album. I know what else we got. We got hold on, boys. I'm stumbling on the name of this song, which is never a good sign when it comes to an album to begin with. Like, I should be able to just, off the dome, be able to name every song that I really rock with on this album. But, for all intensive purposes, like, this album just didn't do it for me. And so, I mean, with that being said, I mean, just Doom, Not Enough, Relocate, Go Hard. Go Hard's actually probably my favorite song on the album. I take back what I'd said previously. All apologies. Sorry, boys. I'm a little sick today. But, so yeah, there's definitely a handful of still solid songs on this album. But, for all intents and purposes, I do think that this is his second worst album. And so, just moving right along, we are going to put World on Drugs next. Now, this album really didn't do it for me overall. It's just, why do I have autotune on? Listen, I am not going to lie. I do not know how to turn the autotune off at this point in time. So, we're just about to rock with the autotune for this one. Because I could have sworn that I had turned it off, but I guess it didn't turn off. So, now we're here. But yeah, World on Drugs, I think, is his, not his best work by any means. The him and Future collab. I mean, my favorite song on the album, hands down, is 7 a.m. Freestyle. Obviously, you have other great songs on that album. You got Fine China, Jet Lagged, Make It Back. A lot of people like Realer and Realer. It really didn't do it for me. Really wasn't it for me. But, I mean, 7 a.m. Freestyle, by far my favorite song on that album. I'd like to just move right along because, like I said, this album just really didn't do it for me. And so, with that being said, we are going to go on, and I'm not counting this mixtape as one of the albums simply because it's a mixtape. It's unreleased. As far as I'm aware, it didn't make it onto Spotify. And so, yeah, we're just not going to be using it. But Legends Never Die coming in as my personal third favorite album. This came out in a great time for me personally. For the rest of the world, maybe not so much. But it came out in 2020, which, very interesting time for, I guess, life for everybody. But it was just one of those albums that I was outside a lot during 2020. I was hanging out with my friends. I was listening to this album, Uzi's album, Polo G. It was just such a great time for vibing with people, listening to music, going on one wheel rides, just living life. And so this album created a very nostalgic sense in terms of the time in life that was happening during 2020. It was just nothing but vibes, and so I feel like this album is a perfect example of how a post-communist album should be done. You know, there's not. I don't feel like there's many great post-communist albums, but I feel like this is a great post-communist album. Obviously, I got Circles by Mac Miller. Mac Miller's camp, I think, does the best with him post-death. Hands down, Mac Miller did the best. Mac Miller's team. But, in terms, if Juice WRLD's other albums could have been as good as this one or better, because the amount of songs that he has on release, he has the potential to make it better. Their team does. But, they simply didn't. And so, Legends Never Die is the best of what we got from, post-communist Juice WRLD. And with that being said, I'm moving on to my second favorite album, which is Death Race for Love. Now, I feel like Death Race for Love is just an overall solid album, man. I mean, it's got some killer tracks on there, some sleepers for sure. I mean, you got Bee's Knees, Empty, which not really a sleeper song. There's just so many songs on this album that I really rock with that it's harder for me to find songs that I dislike than songs that I do. It's harder to find songs that I dislike than songs that I like. Emotions, Flaws and Sins, Feeling, obviously Robbery, Who Shot Cupid. I could go on and on. The list never ends. And so this was a perfect example of, Juice WRLD was really evolving from more of a, he was expanding as, he's not just a sad rapper anymore who talks about nothing but drugs. He's not just a rapper who's just depressed and in his bag all the time, but he was starting to move forward with his creativity, hopping inside of different, some instances, different topics, different complete vibes overall. Like, it wasn't a bag album by any means, and that's not to say that there isn't any sad songs on there. Obviously, you got, freaking Robbery for first, Emotions, and, Flaws and Sins and whatnot. So, so there's still going to be bagging songs on a Juice WRLD album. That is just a given at this point in time. Except World on Drugs really didn't have much of that. But, this is just such a great album that I can go back to any day, sad, happy, feeling no type of way. This is just an absolute banger of an album. But with that being said, my all-time favorite Juice WRLD album has to be Goodbye and Good Riddance. Now, where to even begin with this album? I'll begin with the fact that when Lucid Dreams first came out, I wasn't a fan of Lucid Dreams. I did not like it at first, which is kind of hard to say looking back at it now, as I think that is a fantastic song. It's a great song. Do I go back to it today? I mean, definitely not. I don't think it's one of Juice WRLD's best songs. It's definitely his most popular, but I don't think it's one of his best. But, my favorite song on that album, it's really hard to choose one. I'm not going to lie, because it moves around. It doesn't stay the same. I'll probably have to go with Lean With Me, though. As of right now, Lean With Me will be my favorite. But there has been times where Used To has been my favorite. Candles, I'll Be Fine. Freaking Armed and Dangerous. All girls are the same. There's just banger after banger on this album. And I feel like this is where we got to see Juice WRLD at his most raw. His most absolute mindset focused on the task at hand, which was this album. He was just so locked in on making quality music during this time that unfortunately we didn't get to see the result of what the rest of what Juice WRLD could have bring to the table in his future years. We didn't get to see that. Unfortunately his life was taken short, But this album was just a perfect encapsulation of, a great beginning ground for his career. It built such a strong foundation on what the future was going to bring. And, that moved along to, Death Race for Love, obviously World on Drugs,
and just the rest of them. He had a passion for the music, that was clear. He, dealt with a lot of difficult things inside of his life that unfortunately he was not able to overcome, and hopefully he's in a better place now. But that was just something that this album in specific is just something that is just going to be a space, a place in time where we got to get real heartbreak music again. Like nowadays, we got what most of them died out. Unfortunately, Lil Peep died out, X died out, Juice World obviously. So now we got like Suicide Boys. I don't even want to say Ian Dior because that dude's. I don't know. I don't like Ian Dior. I'm not gonna lie. But we got Suicide Boys. We got Rod Wave. If you want to give him that, I'd give him. I'd give Rod Wave that. I'm sure there's a lot more underground people that I'm unaware of at this time. But like those are like kind of the two big, you know, bagging rappers. Suicide Boys is more emo rap, grunge rap. You could even go as far as saying, but that's just the state that we're at right now. With that being said, I might as well move along to these ones right here because these are technically features. And so, I'm just going to break down every feature from my favorite to least favorite, now that we're already here. So starting out, I mean, I know there's more features than just this, but these are the ones on the table, so we might as well go and knock them out. Starting from the bottom, Ransom Remix, he did great on it. It was solid. He absolutely murdered it. I don't think he's had a bad feature verse ever, and so none of these are going to be bad. Keep that in mind, but yeah, this was a good one. Did it add much to the song? I thought that, once I heard his version of the track, I didn't go back and listen to the original version, so definitely got that going for him. But moving right along, moving right along. See, this is where it gets really tough. This is where it gets really tough. Oh man. Okay, it has to be done. I mean, so right above it, we've got his song with Trippy Red. Absolute banger. It's a great song. I mean, I go back to it still to this day. So I mean, all of these I go back to still to this day, pretty much. So Matt Hardy 999 coming in as out of these my second least favorite, but it is such a hard track. I mean, it is very difficult to rank these at this point in time. Let's get that clear. But I got to actually experience the Trip at Night concert in person, which was such an incredible experience. Got to go to Philadelphia with you know with two of my cousins and one of my homies, and we just had a good time at this Trip at Night concert. Unfortunately, Juice had already passed away at this point, so I didn't get to see Juice World in concert ever. But it's just a fun track. They're just having fun. They're just saying out of pocket lines and just having an overall good time. Now, all right, I'm gonna use this one as 1400 999 freestyle because this definitely belongs inside of this list. All right, but moving along, I'm gonna put Hide going right slightly above it. I just feel like it's more raw. I mean, these could really be interchanged, to be honest. It really depends on the vibe because they're completely vibes. This is a chill song, this is a turn up song, but for today's intent purposes, I'm just gonna put it slightly above. Ooh, why am I getting feedback right now? Who's to say why we're getting feedback at this moment in time? But we did for a split second. But we back on track. So Hyde is going to go right above um, Matt Hardy. And, just because it's a song that I feel like I can listen to at any point in the day, whether I'm slumpy, whether I'm wide awake, early in the morning, late at night, this is just an overall great song. So moving right along, I'm going to put full. Nah, it's got to be done. Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I mean, the only reason why I'm putting this one slightly below the others, uh, because we don't get a very long Juice World verse on here. We don't get an extremely long Juice World verse on here, and so I feel like it just kind of has to go here, you know. And that's not to say that it is not. I think it's one of his most versatile verses in freaking Nuketown. I mean, Ski Mask at the time, he was at one point in my life my favorite rapper. And unfortunately, X passed away, and that kind of just changed the whole landscape of things for, not only just me, but for him making music personally. And so Ski Mask unfortunately didn't continue making the quality music that he had been making prior to that. However, with this album, Stokely, he delivered in a grand way. He brought absolute energy. He brought passion back to what he was doing. And with this song Nuketown, he brought a different. He didn't bring a different energy as to what he's done in the past. I mean, you got Rip Roach and stuff like that. But it was just a good to hear it on a new separate type of beat, on like Mortal Kombat type stuff. And he just went in, and then Juice WRLD just brought the energy from a 10 to an 11 and just brought it to the next level. So this is just a great track all around. And so moving along, I am going to put, I'm going to put Flex, Polo G, and Juice WRLD. Now this is a song that just hits every time you listen to it, to be honest. I think it's probably my favorite song on the GOAT album. I'm not going to lie to you. It has to be my favorite song on the GOAT album. It just goes absolutely crazy. Juice absolutely floated over this beat. And, he complimented Polo G's vocals in an amazing way. They both have a nice, almost beautiful sounding voice that they have together. And so for them to be together on the same track, which they've done multiple other times before, but this was by far the best instance that they have had together. And, the give and take that they had, they just absolutely killed it together. So with that being said, moving along, I'm going to put Yacht Club at my number 2. Now, this is a song that I also did get to see live. I saw Lil Yachty live twice, and he performed this song both times. Lil Yachty's energy that he brought on this song was, it was more of a vibey type thing. And, Juice WRLD was coming in with also vibey type energies, just laid back, hopping on this dope beat that just absolutely sounded like butter on bread. You know what I'm saying? Like a boat on the ocean, man. A little boat floated on a boat in the ocean. And so to have Juice WRLD on this track, I mean, without Juice WRLD, this track is not as big as it is. It's not as good as it is. It's nowhere near the same quality that it is. And so he just absolutely murdered it. I have nothing negative to say about this track at all. The production was amazing. The vocals for both of them were amazing. And so, just nothing but positivity. But with that being said, my number one favorite Juice WRLD feature has to go to 1499 Freestyle, which I did see the behind the scenes of them making this song, and Juice WRLD just hops in, he does his thing, and then Trippie Redd, he'll freestyle as well. He'll take multiple takes on some of them, like it is what it is. But they just came together on this song. They just came together on this song, and they just absolutely murdered it. Honestly, both of theirs, it's one of their best tracks, both of them combined. One of Juice WRLD's best tracks, in my opinion, one of Trippie's best tracks, in my opinion. And so to have two of my favorite rappers all time to hop on a track that just sounds so immaculate is just, such an experience, and it's just a great thing to have. So, that's it. That's my favorite Juice WRLD feature, and that is my my ranking of all of the Juice WRLD albums. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I just had a good time making it. Just got this little microphone. Figured I'd make a video real quick. So if you do me a favor, like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Hit a little comment. That'd be even cooler than a like. A comment might be cooler than a like, because then I'm gonna comment back at you and spread some love back. You know what I'm saying? Spread hate if you'd like to. Do what you want to do. Free world. TikTok gone, but Uncle Trump back, so he's about to, hopefully bring that job back. If he doesn't, oh well, we got reels. So, so shout out to all y'all who be watching this. Much love, much appreciation. I just hope that you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time on the channel.